Hey everybody, we just got done reviewing The Boy and the Heron, so go check out that review. It is that time of year again. The Christmas season has arrived. Lots of different traditions out there for how people celebrate the holidays. And one of the newest and most troubling traditions, I would say, is that of the Hallmark holiday movies. And yes, they are back. And as for unmarried gentlemen, I thought we would check out what they have
Why do you have to
for
bring that
us.
up as much times as you have to?
I thought we'd check it out and see what we're missing, since we're probably never gonna have to watch these. But and then
Yeah, I have to.
I thought we would rank these on a scale of 1 to 4 sugar cookies, with the 4 sugar cookie just being cliched holiday Hallmark movie to the
I'm
max,
I'm
man.
putting on flannel because I live in a small town and maybe I'll attract a high-powered city lawyer, just
That
to come
might
back and help me run my sugar cookie
Did she
business
used
that
to live here?
I don't know. She probably if it lines up.
She has to.
Yeah.
that might just have described like half of the movies we're gonna
Yep.
look at right now.
Though I should have brought my red flannel, but I don't want to dig through my clothes.
All right, so apparently they
Oh
have
boy.
31 of these movies.
That's it?
That's
That's
it?
it
Just for this year?
for this year.
Oh, God.
Okay. I was like, that's impossible.
Okay. So the first one, I'm gonna read the description and you guys tell me how many sugar cookies you get it. So this movie is called Checking It Twice, and it's about a journeyman hockey player who falls for a real estate agent in a career crisis
Sounds like a different kind of movie.
when he's traded to her hometown and moves into the cottage
Oh my
in
God.
her hockey-loving family's backyard. Of
That's
course.
that's 5 cookies right there.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh
That
man.
gives
I'm sorry.
all the
It wouldn't have
cookies.
been 5 until the cottage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
moves in with their family.
Why hockey?
Because it has to be
The
cold.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's a
time.
winter sport.
Can it be like a sledding pro sledder? Are there pro sledders?
Because they're white and it has to have a cold sport.
They're not
right?
Jamaican.
Yeah.
bobsledding.
Look at this family. They just look like a Hallmark card. Man.
What? Hold on.
That's
Look
probably
at
the idea.
look at the left between the guys with us on the very left shoulder. There's like man's
Oh,
face
yeah.
between him and the little
Oh,
gingerbread
what the
house.
heck?
Oh, yeah.
It's an elf.
Is this AI generated?
Is that like
How many fingers?
oh, there's a Santa way in the back, so
Yeah,
I
I
guess
see
they're
that.
out of
Oh.
place. I thought that was just like some cast member that
Yeah.
Yeah.
walked
That-
on set or something.
That had died years ago, like in 3 Men and a Baby.
I thought they were holding that little kid up. It looks like
Yeah.
he's like
Oh
dangling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does it look where?
Between
how,
the guys like chubbiness.
That's a
and-
weird angle. It's like how is his feet touching the ground?
All right, so let's go to our next one. This one is called Where Are You Christmas? When Addie wishes for a year without Christmas, she wakes up in a world of black and white. She must work together with the town mechanic to restore Christmas.
Randy.
I give this a 2.
Yeah.
What
Two
is she
sugar
off
cookies?
of? Lindsay Finesca.
You know her.
Yeah, what's she off of? Oh, that's gonna bother me. I gotta look it up.
You
I'm
gotta
sorry.
look it
I just thought you knew her name.
up.
That too.
Yeah, he actually knows her.
Yeah.
I wish.
They dated once.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with just an average Hallmark movie. I mean,
No, I would go a little below average on this one.
below average. I think the mechanic, you threw in the mechanic in there, that's the pretty cliche part.
Yeah.
She's from the Kick A movies. She's a chick in that.
Hmm.
Oh, Kick A. Never.
Kick-Ass.
Okay. Oh, what? I thought you said KK, like
The KK movies.
one more K in there. Be like, I'm sorry.
It's not a sequel or a trilogy yet.
All right. Our number 3 movie is Under the Christmas Sky.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my.
Kat is an esteemed astrophysicist who is scheduled for her first trip into space next year until an accident grounds her. While on leave, coming to terms with the reality that her dream of being an astronaut is over, she volunteers at a local planetarium. There, she is paired up with a by the book David to work in an exhibit opening
Oh,
right
David.
before Christmas. Will the stars align to bring these two together at the holidays?
This
Look
one's
at
a one.
So David has a kid in a wheelchair, and
Yeah.
she's whining because she can't go to space. Well, he's
She's
like,
whining.
guess what? Poor kid's in a wheelchair. You can't feel bad about yourself around Christmas.
I would give this a 1 as well. This isn't very like
Not very hallmarky.
Yeah, but
well, not very.
space and
It's not
Hallmark is
very.
weird.
It's not very cliche because that's what we're looking for.
Hallmark got into sci-fi for this one.
The Interstellar Christmas special.
A woman astronaut? Who would have thought?
Real fast. Have you guys seen that ISS movie
Yes.
No.
or the trailer for it?
I haven't seen the
it?
movie, but I
How
saw
is
saw
it.
there
the
not
trailer.
been a movie made about that? That is a great idea. I'm all about
I
it.
don't think it looks great, but
That's a
yeah, I
great
can see
idea,
it.
though. Like,
The
oh
premise, yeah.
man,
Good
So-
premise.
So good. Anyway,
Number 4. Christmas by design.
they're all such pretty people.
A fashion designer gets accepted into a Christmas challenge to create a new holiday themed collection.
5 cookies.
And not only finds the inspiration for her next line, but decides to redesign her approach to what's most important in life.
5 cookies.
I would give this a 4 because we don't have a hometown or anything else like that. But the fact that they're wearing matching flannel
pajamas.
something, that ranks a 4.
Look at the creepy uncle in the back, though.
Dude,
He's
that
like,
uncle is creepy.
he's like, "God,
This looks like the
poisoned all
Folgers
eggnog."
family.
The Folgers?
Yeah, that one that's like, "You're my present."
Oh, that creepy one
Yeah.
with the sister and brother? Oh, no. All right. Number 5, Mystic Christmas. Starring a bunch of people. Juniper travels to Mystic, Connecticut during the holidays to work at a rehabilitation center in
God.
the aquarium. She reconnects with Sawyer, the owner of a pizza shop. There you
Oh
Five.
my god, 5.
5.
We need to film that ourselves and put Jackson as the pizza shop owner.
Oh, that is such a 5. Oh my god.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think the pizza looks good in the movie, or is it just like?
I want to know what the aquarium and the rehabilitation center looks like.
Well, we can see the aquarium.
Yeah, but what about the rehabilitation center? How does that factor?
What is, I want to know what they're looking at. It
Yeah,
doesn't look
true.
like
What is
the
happening?
old
here?
man's scared.
The old man is swimming for the first time.
They're watching that movie with the Shape of Water.
Yes.
I
We
don't think
put
you're
the
usually
pair-
smiling like that for that movie.
We put the paraplegic inside the water tank with the shark. He either swims or he dies.
All right, number 6.
5.
What?
I don't.
That was 6. Okay.
No.
He was rating it early.
Rating it.
Oh, okay. Joy Noel. When a romantic
God.
painting of a Christmas market captures the imagination of copy editor Leia, she is sent to France with a pragmatic
Oops.
reporter Mark to uncover the mystery behind the artist.
Actually, I'd give this a 3. They're going to France.
Yeah.
3. I give it.
Although I would also give it extra points for being a copy editor.
Yes,
Because
yes.
who? What?
Who makes a movie about a copy,
Copy
editor? Hallmark does. That's who.
Apparently so.
Number 7. Flipping for Christmas.
Oh my.
It's almost Christmas when busy realtor Abigail agrees to help her sister with the simple flip of a recently inherited home. Unfortunately, co-beneficiary Bo has other plans in mind. Whoa,
He wants to turn into a
4.
strip mall.
this sounds like a murder.
I would give this a 3.5.
What's with
'Cause-
it? He even looks creepy.
I know. She's like,
Mostly because we haven't mentioned a hometown, but we have mentioned a sister that they inherited
Yeah.
a home.
if there's ever a realtor mentioned, that's already like 3 points.
Yeah,
Mm.
realtor.
Looks like she's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "Nothing."
What did you
something.
do?
The sister, that's what he did.
Oh,
Oh.
Never been Chris.
Oh my
good
God.
Home for the holidays, BFFs Naomi and Liz reconnect with high school crush Chris Silver.
Chris Silver.
A complex love
Ooh.
triangle forms, forcing them to take stock of their lives and find the value of friendship.
Love triangle
Oh,
between Chris Silver, Chris Gold, and Chris Bronze.
I give this a 1.
What a bunch of BS. They're not gonna stay friends.
Plus,
Well, someone
that
has to
is-
get hurt.
That is a terrible name too. I'm sorry.
Never been Chris.
Never
I don't
been
know, that's
Chris.
pretty good. It's like double entendre
This
things.
this
going.
looks like season 27 of Dancing with the Stars that
Yeah,
nobody
it
knows.
does, it really does. Looks like
I
a
thought that was the
reality
guy
show.
from Kind of Funny on the far left. I thought that was
This guy?
Nick
Ooh.
Scarpino for a second.
Oh, I was looking at the right. Sorry, I was like, who?
Yeah.
Ginger bearded man.
I know. I thought that was a karaoke guy.
Alex popped in.
What?
What?
The Santa Summit. It's time for the annual
Damn.
Santa Summit, in which revelers put on Santa suits and hop around design locations in town to eat, drink, and be merry. 3 best friends decide to go together. Jordan, a
Who
recently
spells it like that?
a recently dumped art teacher looking to cut loose. Ava, a shy woman hoping to run into her crush, and Stella, a Christmas cynic with no interest in Santa Summit whatsoever. At the start of the night, Jordan meets and bonds with Liam, not Hemsworth, but doesn't get his
Hollingsworth.
Hollingsworth.
but doesn't get his name before getting separated. Dang it. Lost in a sea of Santas. As in the night progresses, hijinks ensue. Amidst the chaos, celebration, and sea of Santas, they all find what they're looking for: Christmas spirit, potential romance, and a strengthened bond of friendship.
I give this a 2.
Yeah, that one sounds
Are
boring.
they just taking like what they sent out for the casting call? Because it has like the name and then like the description of the person next
That
to it. It's
was-
like not a
that-
summary of the movie. It's like this is a casting call sheet that they just
That
Copy and
description
pasted.
was way too long.
Yeah, that hurt my cheeks a little.
It's like you guys 0
Cheeks.
Santa Summit.
Yeah, Santa Summit, you gotta bring your A game. All right, 10.
Oh my.
Everything Christmas. Lori Joe's love for Christmas takes her on a road trip to Yuletide Springs with her roommate Tori, where Christmas is celebrated year-round. To participate in a long-standing town tradition to honor her late grandmother. Along the way, the friends meet Carl and Jason, and the foursome makes stops during their journey to enjoy more small-town Christmas attractions. But when a series of events puts a damper on their plans, a little Christmas magic may put their trip back on the right path. Another kind of boring one, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a 2, I would say.
It's
Like,
like
they
a,
s-
it's like the family road trip movie you've seen 1,000 times, but with no funny
Yeah.
actors in it. They
I-
might
I'm
be funny, I
guessing-
don't know, but it's not like known funny actors.
I'm sorry, but if there's more than like 2 like main leads, that's too much. Just
Yeah.
focus
They
on
have
the
to have
2.
at least 3, Thomas, because there has to be the interest, the bad interest in the main girl, you know?
Bad.
Well, I mean, you can, but that's like a more than a.
Well,
standard
there's
list.
always like the friend of the girl too, so there's
True.
always
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
There's a whole
Eh.
cluster of people we need.
Something tells me this guy is Santa.
And if you ever watch them, there's always a grandmother that like helps them
I
along.
think they said that mentions a grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're going to honor her.
Honor her grandmother. Okay.
And they say small town a lot in this one. It's getting kind of lazy, Hallmark. Okay. Number
Oh,
11.
good lord.
What is that
Christmas
picture?
Island. This one?
That's Thomas in his red flannel and his navy wife.
When a snowstorm diverts Kate's first private flight en route to Switzerland to Christmas Island, she must team up with an air traffic controller to secure her dream job as the family's pilot.
Christmas Island.
Give it a
You
5.
lost me there. You call anything Christmas Island, it's a 5.
Give it a 5.
God. Christmas Town, Christmas Island.
I'm
Christmas
sorry.
City,
That
anything
picture.
like that.
That picture right there, though. I mean,
That-
Such a
that is-
stock photo.
That is a Twin
Like when you buy a
Peaks
frame
photo right there.
and you get the little picture.
Pilot and husband.
Oh man.
Right. Number 12.
Oh no.
A Heidelberg holiday?
Question mark?
Heidi Heidelberg receives the
my
dream
God.
opportunity to sell her beautiful handmade glass
Oh,
ornaments at the prestigious Heidelberg Christmas market in Germany.
Oh.
While there, she meets Lucas, a local artisan who helps her reconnect with her lost heritage. A German Christmas,
Her
everyone.
Heidi Heidelberg heritage.
Tannenbaum.
Nice
I'd give this a
scenery. I
4.
like it.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the
Nice scenery.
handcrafted
The
glass
ornaments.
ornaments.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's the thing is that if you bring in like a useless art craft,
Yeah.
that raises the bar a little bit.
I'm surprised one isn't like scrapbook or
Yeah,
Mary something.
antique artisan wheelchairs. I don't know.
All right. Number 13, Navigating Christmas. Recently divorced Melanie and her son Jason visit a
Uh-oh.
remote island for another Christmas island, only to find themselves running a real working lighthouse where she connects with the curt but cute owner. Hey.
Kurt, but
That does-
cute.
He does not look cute. He
I
looks,
know.
Looks like he's about to break out some Jason Bourne action.
He looks like a retired MMA fighter.
He does.
It does look like a goofball. Or...
Is that her son?
No, he's Kurt, Jared.
It's,
I don't know.
I'd
it
give
has
this
to be.
I'd give this a 3.
I give this one a 2. I don't.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feel it? It's
Besides
got
the-
lighthouse.
Besides, like the one shot of them in the lighthouse, showing off the lighthouse, it's probably a dud.
Duds.
So that's where
Good.
all the money went, was that drone shot. Oh
Whoa,
my
look
god.
at the drama in
Whoa.
that picture. That
Oh,
man
it's
was wearing
tilt.
kilts
A
everywhere.
merry,
A
a
merry
merry Scottish Christmas,
A
everyone.
Merry Scottish Christmas there.
When estranged siblings Lindsay and Brad Morgan travel to Scotland at Christmas to reunite with Mother Joe, a big family secret is revealed.
Oh,
This sounds
my.
more like a lifetime Christmas.
Yeah.
I'd give this a 3 because we don't know enough. Like,
Yeah, I give it like a 2.
Yeah,
It
I'm
sounds more
sitting
like a
in-
lifetime
Like
movie.
a 2 or a 1.
Yeah.
This one's
A
not.
2?
This
They
one's
go for
not
2?
giving me Christmas spirit.
Everyone
man.
looks miserable except for
It
that guy on the
does.
left.
well, they're having to spend the winter in Scotland. It's probably very cold.
Lacey Chabert, I've actually heard of that person. So
Oh, yeah.
All right. Number 15, Holiday Hotline. After leaving London, Abby connects with an anonymous caller while working at a cooking hotline. The caller is single dad John, who
Oh,
Abby
no.
unknowingly has become smitten with in the real life.
Hot
So
single
basic-
dads.
Yeah,
Or-
it's
You know, if you change some adjectives, this could be a very. These movies could be very naughty.
It's gonna be questionable for sure.
Okay, I'd give this a 4 because one, we have like an obscure job, a cooking hotline nowadays,
Yeah.
really. And
this
then
is like
you have
Sleepless in Seattle.
yeah, and then you have the single dad though, so that moves it up a tier. But we don't have any flannel, and it's not very.
And we don't have kids and a
Yeah.
sister
Yeah.
and all right.
There needs to be flannel. Oh Lord.
Catch Me If You Claus.
Hmm.
Avery Quinn is an
That's not
aspiring
much
aspiring news anchor who finally getting her big break on her station's Christmas morning newscast. But that's put in jeopardy when she captures an intruder in her home wearing a red suit claiming to be Chris, Santa's son, who is on his first mission. Okay, I get it. A night of adventure ensues, and they find themselves being pursued by the police as well as some shady characters. Along the way, they connect over living in their shadow of their parents and inspire each other to go after their dreams.
2
Yeah, this one
Yeah.
sounds like a comedy movie.
sounds a little too complicated for
I
a
also
Hallmark
feel
movie.
like a Christmas morning broadcast isn't the big break. It's more like, where your career
Yeah,
goes to
you're
die.
End of the road.
Well, it's like you're stuck at there, or
Like,
you're stuck
you
at the
gotta
station
do
on
this,
Christmas.
That's
man.
usually like this is the puff piece that you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to do this on Christmas, so
Letters
Lord.
to Santa. Well, there's your flannel.
Mm.
When young siblings receive a magic pin from Santa, that appears to be granting wishes. They request a Christmas gift they want more than anything for their separated parents to reunite.
That's just classic Christmas 4 at least.
That's a 3.
I would
Really?
say 3. Yeah.
I'm going 4 for that one. That's all Hallmarky.
Well, because it's their parents getting together and not like
Not
yeah, not
young people.
strangers.
Yeah.
not young professional meets homemaker or meets craftsman.
Uh-oh. Look at that guy's angry.
Oh my.
Holiday Road. When bad weather leaves each of them stranded at the airport for the holidays, a teacher or a tech entrepreneur, a travel writer, a devoted mother and her son, a stubborn senior, an enigmatic woman with a hint of mystery. That's like the same thing. Why are you saying that twice? A couple traveling from Hong Kong and a social media influencer all agreed to rent a
I'll walk into a bar.
agreed to rent a shared van to embark on a road trip to Denver. When the unexpected journey brings them to uncharted territory, they navigate a series of misadventures together and for a deeper bond that just might change the trajectory of each of their lives. Inspired by true events.
Yeah.
It's more like, it seems more like a whodunit than anything.
Yeah. Okay. Weirdly enough, this sounds more interesting than all the
Yeah.
other ones. I don't know if it's super Hallmarky, but
Just that picture.
yeah, that picture, yes. But the actual premise of the movie sounds way more interesting than everything else that we've encountered so far.
This is
And
the,
why are they going to Denver?
this
I
is
don't
the
know.
most CW looking photo I think I've seen in a minute. Like Smallville, back for
The re-
season 9.
The recast of Arrow.
The
Yeah.
mom likes her son a little too much.
Whoa. Questionable.
Christmas in Notting Hill. Famous soccer star Graham Savvy has always been too busy for love, but when he comes home to Notting Hill for Christmas, he changes his mind after meeting Georgia, a visiting American, and the one person who has no idea who he is. Yeah, I mean, no Americans would know who he is. So what?
Maybe 4.
Really, that
Yeah,
high?
you go like a
Well, just the
3. I'll
meeting
go
like a
3.
small town or 3. Think 3's better.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
it's
like
got
a
that-
good rom-com,
You
not
got,
like
you got
a
the
Hallmark.
American coming over, a foreigner, and then he's like,
You got that
"Oh,
thing where he's a celebrity, but
Yeah.
she doesn't know he's a celebrity.
What is
Keep-
she wearing?
Keep reading. I'll
it
be right
looks
back.
photoshopped. I don't know if it's actually on her head or not.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
roses,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
It looks
tiara.
super fake,
Look at his scarf; it's got like veins.
and he's not paying attention to her at all.
No, he's
She's like,
got
"Please love
money on
me."
him.
He's like, "No, I play with balls."
I play football. All right, 20.
Oh
Whoa!
god.
Haul out the holly, lit up.
Oh my god.
As the holidays approach, Emily and Jared are looking forward to celebrating the holidays together again, this time as a couple. Emily, now embracing Evergreen Lane's uniquely festive spirit, is ready to work with Jared, Ned, Mary Louise, and Pamela to make this year's Christmas celebration the best yet. Even if being the HOA's president's girlfriend doesn't stop those dreaded decorating citations. When a house on the block goes up for sale, it causes quite a stir with the residents. When the soon to be neighbors turn out to be holiday royalty, it looks like this year's competition is about to heat up. As the welcoming committee prepares for new arrivals, only one thing is certain: this Christmas, Evergreen Lane is going to slay. Wow.
Okay,
That
so
is-
This one's like trying to be updated for like young people, and they're like,
that was way too much for a description
yeah,
too.
That was kind of painful.
Okay.
Also, Joseph,
oh,
There
we
you
get the
go.
red flannel on now.
I got the red flannel.
So I was at my nephew's birthday party yesterday, and they put on like the Christmas light challenges or whatever, or like, and this guy goes to all these houses in all these cities, and he goes to these places where they decorate their house like crazy for Christmas. Like you see Christmas with the Cranks or something, and it's like, okay, that's a lot of freaking lights, but it doesn't look bad. Like some of these people are freaking like, my mind was blown watching this show. They had probably 700 blow up things in their lawn. They
yeah.
they took the blow up things and lined it on their roof like lights. So they just have like the inflatable things all over their house, and this one place just had like I don't know, it was like a horror house of just Christmas. Throughout their entire house, it was just lines, like it was a store almost. Like it was a very bizarre experience. I was like, man, these
That's
Hallmark
too
people
much.
are not doing these guys justice.
One of the best things I saw was in Kansas, where it was this big house full of lights and stuff, and the neighbor just put ditto and lights.
Yeah, that one's famous.
That's good.
Uh,
I would give this a 1, honestly.
Yeah.
yeah. I do like that they're fighting HOA.
Like they're
True,
all like
they
in
do
bowling
suck.
outfits together.
That's like communism. Little mini communism. Our Christmas mural. Olivia is a single mom, of course, who returns home
Oh.
for Christmas. Her mom secretly enters her into a mural contest. She wins, but partners with a teacher, Will, to create a Christmas masterpiece.
That's
Man,
a 5. That's a
that's
5
got
right
all
there.
the
That's
connections.
a Hallmark.
Is
like,
that
bingo
Zac
card.
Efron?
No.
Oh, okay. For a second, I was like, "Whoa!"
Kind of looks like Liam Hemsworth, but it's not him either.
I know.
Yeah, that's
It's
that's a
Dan
5.
Jeanette.
Yeah, that's got
Jeanette.
everything, man. Single mom coming home for Christmas.
I know.
And
in a
an artisan
situation.
project. Yeah.
And the
Being set up
grandmother,
by
yeah.
her
Grand
mom.
slam of Hallmark.
All right, 22.
Whoa.
A Biltmore Christmas. Lucy Hardgrove is a screenwriter who lands the job of a lifetime when she's hired to pen the script for a remake of a beloved holiday movie classic, His Merry Wife,
Job of a
which was-
lifetime.
which was filmed in 1947 at beautiful historic Biltmore House. When the head of the studio isn't satisfied with the ending, Lucy wrote because it deviates from the original feel-good conclusion, he sends Lucy to Biltmore Estate to research and inspiration.
I want to see her art house ending where it's all like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like horror and Santa's bleeding it down the chimney.
Well,
Santa
there,
killed them all.
while there, she unwittingly discovers the ability to travel to the 1947 set,
What?
His Merry Wife, through the help of an hourglass. While on set, she and Jack Houston, one of the film stars, spend time together and become close. But her sudden appearance has set off a chain of events that put the production and the multiverse in jeopardy. Before she can return to the present, Lucy must make things right or threaten to alter the future forever. What is going
Dear
on?
Dear Lord.
You can't romance in the past. That's not good.
Dude, look at those fireplaces. Holy crap.
It's either a 1 or a 2.
There- Oh, I was like, there are 3 fireplaces. What do you mean?
I know.
Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, that's
But
pretty
she
off.
gets the job of a lifetime.
Job of a
right off the
lifetime
bat.
recreating a holiday classic. I don't
You're just hired to do a rewrite.
I'd go
Ooh,
with a 2
good
on
job.
that. I'd go with a 2.
The
2.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
Sugar
that sounds better.
cookies.
not great.
Alright. 23. Look at these people.
Oh, no.
Look at those candles.
My
in the background.
Norwegian
Hinga dinga dirty.
I know those are weird.
Norwegian holiday. JJ, grieving the loss of
There's
his
the
grandmother and seeking dissertation inspiration, stumbles upon an unexpected holiday destiny, meeting Henrik, a Norwegian from Bergen. Their connection deepens when he discovers she has a troll figurine from his hometown. To explore the troll's history and her grandmother's ties, JJ agrees to join Henrik on a journey to Norway. In Bergen, they're drawn to Henrik's family Christmas and wedding traditions, with his sister's wedding the day before Christmas. JJ embarks on a holiday adventure, uncovering the troll's origins and fighting her own path to healing, love, and family.
We have to read that part again. Hold on. Go down.
Which one? Which one?
Is that his
Their
sisters?
connection deepens when he discovers she has a troll figurine from his home. Well, who comes up with that nonsense?
Where'd you get that toy? Oh, this place. Oh my
I've
god.
seen that troll before.
What on earth, man? Good lord.
How many cookies?
That's a 2,
Yeah,
1.
Yeah, I would give it a 2.
Oh, no love
Also,
for the
go down real
Norwegians.
quick. No. it's his sister's wedding the day before. Okay,
yeah,
that's
day
a
before Christmas.
that is a terrible
That's a very
worded sentence.
Yeah, her
That-
sister's wedding the day
that's
before
rude
Christmas.
on their part because
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
you
that's
want to
true.
celebrate the holidays, but you have to make it about you.
You guys
Jeez.
celebrating
Yeah,
Christmas this year?
so
No, you're kidding me.
selfish. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
24. A not so royal Christmas. Tabloid journalist Charlotte attempts to land an interview with a reclusive count. In response, the
Dracula.
royal family has a groundskeeper pose as the count since the real one fled years ago.
I
That
don't
doesn't sound like a movie at
understand.
all.
I
I
know.
don't understand what's going on.
I give it a 1. That's not very
One.
Christmassy.
I hope it's about
That
vampires.
sounds like a
but
really
one.
bad like short story or something like that.
I mean, and what do you mean fled years ago? Where did he flee to?
Christmas with a kiss.
Oh,
The Chris.
A woman, a mahogany presentation. I don't know what that means. A woman returns home to help with her family's Christmas carnival and romantic nights. A photojournalist role curates a surprise reunion. That's pretty simple.
I
Yeah.
would give it a 3 or 4, but that's not a very good description.
I'll hang
Like-
in the 3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Very
Yeah.
generic.
Very generic.
It's like the first year of Hallmark
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Before they started bringing in
26.
time travel and
Yeah.
The
trolls.
multiverse.
Trolls.
Well, here we got magic and mistletoe.
Paul Campbell, that's my uncle.
Harrington is the author of a popular book series, but commercial success has left him a bitter recluse. As he returns to his hometown for an annual Christmas festival celebrating his book, he's joined by April, a publicist for a major publishing house he works with. April is there for damage control after Harrington's recent comments on social media have ruffled some feathers.
Oh, he got canceled.
But as she gets to know him better, hope springs that April can unlock Harrington's guarded heart and help him rediscover the spirit of holiday. Man, I was almost choking on the cliches on that.
That's a 4. That's a 4. The fact that he returns to his hometown,
Yeah,
he's a recluse writer.
After got
she's
canceled.
a publicist. There was something else. What was it? I mean, you could drink every time I say hometown, guys. And you're talking...
The reason it's not a 5 is because he's not more of an artisan and there's no grandmother. So we need to have those.
Yeah. 27. Christmas on Cherry Lane.
Something uneasy about that
Yeah,
picture.
that is
That's
not
a
a
rough picture, man. Holy
that is not a comforting photo.
That is alarming. It's like,
Everyone looks like they're gonna
smile,
kill
pretend
you.
Like you're happy.
Do it or I kill the child.
A young couple preparing to welcome their first child, an
Whoa.
empty nester and her fiance ready to start a new chapter, and a couple who unexpectedly have the chance to expand their family on Christmas Eve, celebrate the holiday as they navigate these turning
Disgusting.
points in their life.
You don't have to
One.
put that. That's understood.
That's a 1, man. That's ugh.
Notice there aren't that many people in the picture, so who has died to this point before this picture was taken?
I know there's only 4 people.
That's
This
what
is
it
like a
is.
swingers Christmas. I don't like this.
70s Christmas. 28.
Oh,
Round and round. Rachel's stuck in the time loop.
oh no!
Oh no.
Reliving the night of her parents' Hanukkah party. Here you go. Can Zach, the nice boy, grandma's trying to set her up with, make her or help her make it to tomorrow? Oh, we got Groundhog Day.
Michael
Hallmark.
might like that one. It's a time
Why?
loop. You
Yeah,
like time loop
I do
movies.
Like time loop movies, but
I'm gonna give that a 1 because
yeah,
Yes.
where's the
which
Christmas
makes
in
me
that?
sad because that's the only Hanukkah one we've gotten so far. But that is a terrible
Richard
description. Who wrote that?
I
That
don't know.
was really bad.
The nice boy.
Yeah,
nice
Can
boy.
Zach, the nice boy, grandma's kid from uptown New York. What?
The Secret Gift of Christmas.
What is she wearing? She's wearing like cotton candy shoulders and
Bonnie is a personal shopper who helps her new widowed client, Patrick, reconnect with his young daughter.
Oh,
So
no.
Bonnie and Patrick's idea of shopping couldn't be more different. She is determined to get Patrick and his daughter everything on their wish list. That's a
oh
five.
That's
yeah, there's a
that's
daughter
five.
mentioned.
That's a
Yeah.
5.
What is a
That's a
personal
five.
shopper?
Someone who
shop for
shops
you?
for
They
you,
just,
like
that's just
clothes.
their job. Like
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what rich people have, so
my.
they don't have to go shopping.
that's just
That's
Amazon.
hilarious. And that
That's
fact that we have a widower too. It's just
Yeah,
like, oh,
widower, daughter.
personal,
Wow.
professional, useless person. I mean,
We found peak Hallmark. 30. Sealed with a list.
Is this oh good lord, I'm drawing a blank.
oh, that is
Psycho?
a terrible
Yeah,
picture.
is this Psycho?
This holiday season, festive Carly sets out to conquer her list of abandoned resolutions from last year. Aided by coworker Wyatt, she finds love and the confidence to chase her dreams.
Eh,
Good for
1.
her.
Generic.
I'll give it a 2.
Give it a 2.
I'm
He's
pretty sure that
feeling-
I'm pretty sure that background's not real.
It looks weird.
I'm
That
not
door
sure.
looks
I
weird.
don't think
That-
they're actually
that-
there. Look how photoshopped
That
the
Yeah.
wreath,
sides
that,
yeah,
wreath
yeah.
is not there.
They just she was holding someone else and they cut him out and put him.
Yeah,
in.
I feel like the doors are part of a set. The brick looks real, but everything
Yeah,
else
but
is just
that-
like put into
That
this.
door and wreath look fake.
I think
Yeah.
it's him that's making it look.
Yeah,
fake.
he definitely looks fake.
That's weird.
What's
Why are you
casting
doing that,
that
Homer?
shadow on like just a?
I don't know.
That's a
Just
confusing
odd.
picture.
Taking part of the picture. All right, friends and family Christmas. Daniela has recently moved to New York to pursue an art career and decides to stay in town to share the holidays with her circle of artist friends instead of going home to see her sweet, if overbearing parents. Amelia is a talented entertainment lawyer trying to stay focused on her work after a broken engagement. When Daniela and Amelia are set up by their parents, they agree to pretend that they are dating to appease them for the holidays. However, as they spend time in each other's worlds, they soon build a connection that is deeper than either of them could hope for.
It's a lesbian Christmas.
It's a
Ooh. I give it a 3, I guess.
Yeah,
Go
'cause
down real
no
quick.
one's going home for Christmas.
Yeah, there's no home.
They refuse to.
They're going to New York. They never go to the big city.
They're being matched up through.
by their parents.
Yeah, how strange.
Yeah,
That's a
I
fresh
give it a-
one. That's a fresh one. That's not very
it,
Hallmark.
it is fresh. I'll say that, but there's like almost no cliches in this. There's no grandmother. There's no small
Yeah.
town. They're not
Mhm.
artisans.
It's so progressive. It's
pursuing
Well,
like
an
I'm
art
saying
Hallmark.
pursuing
career.
art career.
Career.
Sorry,
I think
you're right.
it's a
You're
2
right.
for that. But
Yeah. 2. The
But that can
progressive
mean anything
Christmas.
though. I'm not talking about. I make hand figure glass figures like
Of
from
trolls.
the 1970s. Yeah, from this one village that died. I don't know.
All right. So that was our Hallmark Christmas for this year.
Oh boy,
Did any of those stand out to you that
That-
you would actually want to see?
that Hanukkah one was disappointing, man. Good grief. That van one.
the Who Done It one.
The
yeah,
van?
I'm about
that one actually seemed kind of interesting.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for the time loops, I guess. I want to see how she gets out of there.
Wait, which one? There's 2 of them. Wasn't
There
there?
was 2, wasn't there?
Well, there's one time loop, one time
Oh,
travel.
time travel.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Where
Sorry,
she
my
goes
bad.
back and dates an old man, I guess.
She goes and
Past
lives
nastification.
Miracle on whatever.
Past nastification. Oh man. All right. I didn't do much this week because I had work. It was finals week, so I worked 6 days this week, so I didn't have time for nothing.
Whoa.
I did want to say episode 4, if I can remember it, A Murder at the End of the World. This one made me mad
Mm.
because it had that thing where it makes It tells you people are smart, but they do stupid stuff. So let me try to remember because it's been a while. The first thing that stood out was when they're talking, and this lady, they're like, "Oh yeah, being a woman is hard," and one of them is an astronaut.
Oh yeah. Well, they also
See?
in that same scene they also say, but also being like she also goes the opposite way, which I was actually surprised with it, where she was like, but also being a man is hard because of something she said. Like, but I can't remember what the wording was. It's been a week since I watched that episode, but I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about though.
yeah, they're talking because they were talking about how her dad died or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's
But
like
they're all
you're
like super elite people that have all been
yeah.
super successful in their lives.
It's like you're an astronaut. You should not be complaining. You've made it to the top.
Isn't she like an astronaut and a doctor or something like that? I can't remember. She's something else.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor astronaut.
She's an astrophysicist looking for love. And then there was this other dumb part where they're up in the cold, right? And they're like really cold. They got these suits on, and they see a car, and they go get in the car, and immediately they take off their helmets, and they're
I
like,
know.
"Oh,
Why are we doing
it's
this?
warm."
Yeah, it's like, why are you
That's
taking
not
your
how
helmets for?
cars work.
The suits are supposed to keep you warm, and they're like taking it off as though it's gonna make it better. Yeah, and then the part where they drive, and she's like crazy driving, and it's like, what are you doing? Like
I know that.
I get
I
they're
laugh
trying to make
'cause
it seem like she's doing it on purpose, but then that didn't even
Yeah.
come to fruition.
I laugh because the astronaut got in an accident.
Yeah, she just crashes. Yeah. Interesting.
There was another thing, the Bill guy, right? Who he's in a past story. This would not work. I just don't think this would work. They go to a hotel. They don't have money for the hotel. So he's like, I got an idea. They wait for these people to check out. Then they go to the front desk and say, "Hey, we lost our key. We were
Well,
at
they
the
jump
pool."
in the pool, so they're wet.
Yeah.
So it seems like they were
And
swimming.
they're like, "Hey, we lost or we left the key in the thing to go swimming." They had just checked out. This guy has to be the worst innkeeper. I mean, I get that it's not a modern computer kind of hotel, but they had just checked out. He should know who was in that room when he gave him the key. So I didn't buy that at all.
Yeah.
I did like how the main character kept like passing out. Like when they get in a wreck, she like falls out of the car, just passed out on the ground. And then the part where they have to open someone's lungs so she could breathe.
Oh yeah.
And then she just like passes out on the floor.
She's out
But then it got very like stupid, like Knives Out, where at the end with the kid, and she's like, "What did you just do?
Did you just sneeze multiple
yeah,
times?"
They had to like point out the
Yeah.
major clue. That kind of ruined it for me. But Michael, you watched episode 5, so how did that go?
I did just watch episode 5. I watched it. It was kind of weird because I watched it in 2 parts. So I started it last night before we went to go see The Boy and His Heron, and I watched first half, which the first. Right,
And his heron.
Not his heron.
Oh,
and the
heron.
heron.
His heron, the heron. It could be his. You never know. It's his now. They're together. And I watched first half. The first half I really liked, and then I just now before this watched the second half. I didn't care for it as much. It got lame and a little weird. But yeah, episode 4 was one of the ones where episode 3 ends, and it's like, oh, we're all gonna go down to the basement. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna get like the big dialogue heavy thing. Everyone's gonna be pointing fingers. We didn't get it. I was very upset. We just went in the snow, started walking, and then drove badly in the snow to get in a wreck. So I was looking forward to that. There are some. I think it was that. Yeah, the first half of episode 5, there's a lot of investigative work, which I really liked. But then the second half of episode 5 was just the main chick doing dumb things. Like the end of the episode, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And now you're in that position. So good luck. So I don't know.
Do fingers actually get pointed in real life? Do you ever see people going?
Pointing right now, Jared, right at you.
I point all the time. I know that's rude, but I do it all the time.
Hey, you over there. Look at that guy. But yeah, so I'm liking the show still. It's fun, interesting, well shot. But some of the flaws are kind of creeping into it again. I was like, man, it got out of it, and then it's kind of gone back into it. So, but and then
This stuff Does stuff take place in space, or was there just an
Just
astronaut?
an astronaut. She's there. It's just
No.
a bunch of
Okay.
like elitist people or like really
They're
Oh,
smart
in
okay.
people.
Iceland, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and they had suits that they're like space suits, but they're for the cold.
Yeah. But it does do the thing a lot to where it's like, I'm like, if you have like political things you want to say, do it in not such a blunt and in the face way of just like in this episode, they're talking about the environmental. It's all about environmentalism with the main guy, and like that's what he's fighting. And one of the ladies in this episode, she goes, what the heck did she say? She's like, yeah, he can try and make all these bunkers for us, but he can't try and stop capitalism. I was like, that's such an in your face line. It's like, try to be a little more clever with what you're trying to put across. There's just so much like, okay, I get it, Jesus.
It was like that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio not too long ago, where it was
Oh,
just
Don't
like
Look Up or
super
whatever?
polit. Yeah,
never
Oh
watched it.
God, don't.
I didn't.
that was
watch it.
terrible.
That is one of the worst movies I've ever
I've
seen.
heard so many people hate it, but then it's like always like
Yeah,
highly rated on other things. I'm like, why?
there was
Everyone
someone
hates that
that's
movie.
super surprising that actually liked that movie, but they saw because they thought it was like a parody of like.
If they did that, it would work. But the thing is, they're 100% serious. I'm just like, this is just terrible writing. Oh, I hate that movie.
Right. Well, anyway, I'll guess I'll do the other. I only have two other things that
Yeah.
I'll talk about, then I'll let you guys go. So last time we talked about Murtag, we were at the point where I was like, oh no, he's doing things I'm writing. No worries, guys. It took a completely different direction. We are safe. There's no need. The
Michael heard chapter 14 was like,
the similarities left. I did finish the book, so I finished
Oh,
it
nice.
Thursday afternoon.
It's like, Paulini, you saved yourself.
You're okay. He comes in the like forward to the readers, or whatever, in the audiobook, and it is obviously leading into more books, which was interesting. But it's not the fifth book, because he already has the fifth book in the series planned. So there's going to be a fifth book that follows the
Spin-offs?
fourth book of the inheritance cycle. But Murtag books are going to be a separate thing now. But the book itself, like I said last time, I had just gotten to the point where we were at the big baddie, and I was halfway through the book, and that's at the point where the book kind of took a downturn for me. It wasn't as interesting. It kind of like the end of the book builds into the continuation of the series with Murtag. I was like, if you have this idea of doing all that, like the book very much feels like a kind of monster of the week kind of thing. It's like the simple bad guy of just like, hey, we're gonna go here, beat the guy, and move on. That's it. It's just kind of introducing the other bigger thing. So I'm like, why? I don't know. I felt like it built up the villain a lot more than, and I was super interested to find out what she was gonna be like and what was gonna happen and everything. But then it just kind of became like, oh, you're just kind of this more generic thing that I wanted, and then that he does a thing that I didn't care for. Not that it's a bad story arc to take, but it's something, especially with the character of Murtag, to do to where he loses control of himself again in the book, which is something that happens all throughout the inheritance cycle. Like that's a big problem with Murtag, and you finally get through that. I'm like, I don't feel like it need to be revisited, and especially as it didn't really serve anything for what they did. It just kind of added to the inner guilt that he kind of goes through with the whole, because a lot of the book is him dealing with stuff from the inheritance cycle. But overall, I liked it. I feel like he does like the more, because like of the first ones, Aragon's my favorite. I feel like it has the best pace, the best kind of, I don't know. I feel like I entertained through the whole time. I love it. But the more the books go on, the more wordy they get and the more over explaining. Like there's parts in Murtag where Murtag, near the end of the book, like last few chapters, he's having this internal monologue of where he's kind of describing a certain reason of why he's doing something. And like that's something you put at the beginning of the book for new readers, and maybe to remind old readers who didn't listen to the old ones again. But like we're at the end of it, and you're over explaining this. I'm like, we already know this. This is something you've established beforehand that we know, and it's just like he kind of over explains a few things too much. I don't know why that kind of seems to be more prevalent in the later books, but apart from that, I did enjoy it. It was fun, cool characters. Interested to see where the world goes. Interested to see what he has for book 5. But yeah. Yes, Jared.
questions about this series. I don't know anything about it. The Inheritance series is the Aragon.
Yeah, the
books.
Aragon's the first one. Then there's 3 more after that.
So you said the fourth one they interact with the main bad guy. So is there like room in the story to continue, or did it feel like it ended?
That was the end there for that. There is
Oh.
some hints from some of the characters of something else that they apparently tell Murtag, and then that's where he deals with this in this one. Yeah, Thomas.
So, not to go into too much spoiler territory, there's a lot of hints, I guess, in some of the inheritance cycle about like where Aragon's path might lead. Does that expand at all in Murtag, or they just like completely cut that out?
The Aragon's mentioned. They actually mentioned the place he went to. It's named now,
Mhm.
and they talk about it. But he doesn't. He doesn't interact with
Doesn't
that
show up.
character at all in this one. But it's definitely
Okay.
coming for sure. That's gonna be
Because like
in future
in the
books.
in the third and fourth one especially, they had like all that stuff about like future prophecies and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, where we going with this? And then the fourth one ends. You're like, you left out some stuff. So
Yeah, and there's another thing that bothered me is like he does the thing to where he's dealing with the witch Bashel, which is introduced in the very beginning of the book, and that's like the main baddie of the Murtag book, and he does the line where I'm like, that's not needed. That's too much talking to the audience. Where he says, even Galbatorix couldn't have done this certain thing. He's the bad guy in the first series, so it's trying to make that the threat seem as big. But I'm like, you've already
bigger
Without
and
showing it,
badder.
just telling it.
yeah, it's like you've already we know Murtag is stripped of these tools that made him so powerful in the first books. We know those. Aragon has those now. That's the end of the series, or at the end of the series. We know that, so you don't need to make it seem like Bashel is as threatening or as unstoppable as this great force in the first one. Like it was so speak to it. I'm like, no, that's not needed. So, but just a few things that kind of bugged me. But it was less of an expansion on the original ones and more of a solitary story, which wasn't what I was looking for. But it's leading into more of an expansion, which I'm excited for. So, not my favorite book for sure, but interested to see where it goes. And very, very fun characters throughout this one. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Anyway, the only other thing I did / watched was oh yeah, the third special of Doctor Who.
Oh no!
So spoilers, if you do not know what this, last time I'm gonna say this. Spoilers, if you do not know what's going on in Doctor Who. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers are over. I will clap my hands whenever it is done for anyone who #Johnny is watching. So David Tennant came back for 3 specials. We've talked about it before. First special, I thought, okay, that was okay, a little fun. Second special dealt with fun ideas, very cool dynamic. Got Donna and David Tennant back in their adventuring, very fun dynamic. Third one comes around, very good, very bad things in this.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, indeed. It's like it does a weird thing. You guys don't care if I spoil Doctor Who, I assume.
No.
Didn't think so.
I would like it spoiled, please.
I will say that Neil Patrick Harris was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He did play the toy maker, which I hadn't heard of, but I didn't know anything about it.
Santa.
There was a hint at the master, so I wasn't 100% wrong. But he did a good job. They had really cool like the aspects where they kind of go into this toy maker world that he built, which I wish they had done more of the episode in. Was really, really cool. Like they're like in this like maze, almost Scooby-Doo-ish, like opening doors, everything's leading other places. They're confused. Very, very cool kind of mind screwy kind of stuff there. Then they come back and there's just stuff. There's just times in Doctor Who. I've said this several times. Since Matt Smith ended, basically, I'm like, I wish they would take Doctor Who seriously again. Which Matt Smith had goofy stuff, no kidding. But like they had an overarching story, they took things seriously, and they really delve into some deep, like questions and thoughts and like ideas and everything. But like they have this whole number where Neil Patrick Harris is dancing around in this goofy fight.
It's what he
where
does.
he's making
It's what he
flowers.
does.
And
It
it's
sounds like Disney took over.
It's just
or
ridiculous.
something.
And then he gets on a turret, and he's like pretending to shoot. It's like this big laser beam that they were going to destroy a satellite with because he was controlling people with the television with a puppet from like the 70s or something like that. It's a little confusing. And so he has the laser, and he ends up shooting David Tennant. And you're like, okay, here we are. This is where David Tennant's going to, change into the new Doctor, take over. He does the whole,
Highlander thing.
regeneration, lights going out and everything. And then David Tennant ends up splitting into the new Doctor. So they have this whole thing where they pull each other apart. They call it bi-regeneration, where they split. Now there are 2 Doctors. So you have David Tennant and then the new Doctor. And I'm like, what?
They
And
gotta please the fans.
it's very confusing. So, and then they end up doing it to where, and for some reason, new Doctor, they like kind of split. So they split clothing, which didn't make sense because they both had white shirts on, but the new Doctor didn't have pants on. It was very strange, but no one addressed that he didn't have pants on. I was very confused. I'm like, why is no one saying this man doesn't get this man a blanket or a towel or something? I don't know. And so it ends up like I don't under. So Thomas, you know David Tennant's ending. You know how good and emotional and heart wrenching and powerful and great the end of David Tennant is. Everyone knows it. It's
Yep.
like, man, that is powerful and great.
I
That is
don't want to go.
It's like that is Doctor Who right there.
That is one of the most iconic
That's-
Doctor Who lines
Exactly.
ever.
That's Doctor Who right there. It's like Doctor Who is heart wrenching. It destroys you, and then so the whole thing here is like because they're all trying to figure out why David Tennant didn't change this or why it changed back to David Tennant. They're like, why'd you bring this face back? Why is this face here? And then the line Donna says is like, you did it to come home. So at the end of this episode, there are 2 TARDISes, 2 doctors. David Tennant stays with Donna Noble and her family and lives out his apparent life for now.
With
And
Captain
they
America.
go on, they go on some
But
adventures.
they
like
already
that.
kind of did that with Rose.
I know, but it's like, but I'm like, you're kind of just destroying that ending with David Tennant. I don't know. It's like why? It feels kind of ruining it to me. I'm like,
That's what I've heard about, like, her story too. That they kind
oh,
of.
Donna's, yeah, true,
Yeah.
'cause,
Well,
like,
okay, and that's the thing about Donna's story too. That was heart wrenching.
exactly.
Where she goes back to mediocrity, basically.
Yeah, even
Like,
though
that
she did
was-
such an amazing thing,
she
but it's like
did-
she can't
was-
know it.
Yeah, she
Her
can't
family
know about
does,
it,
but
and that makes me kind of mad because that whole splitting, they've already done that with David Tennant's character too, with the 2 doctors, the one that stayed behind with Rose, and the
true,
one
yeah.
that went on to exist as the Doctor.
It's a little different
And-
with the time thing, but this one there's like literally physically splitting in front of your eyes. But
That's
I'm like, who was wanting this though? Who was wanting a happy ending for David Tennant's Doctor? I don't know.
he kind of already has one though, and that was more Doctor Who, is that he had a happy
Yeah,
ending,
he had
and he had a sad ending.
the one that exactly. That's that's such a good point. And the freaking like the whole 3 special episodes, they kept like referring to the things that he did, and then even the toy maker Neil Patrick Harris is like, oh, this is, he like has a little puppet show where he's like, this is Rose and she did this and and then what here this is Amy Pond, she did this and then she died to a weeping angel, and then here's Clara and she died to a raven or whatever. Like caught and like, well, you weren't there for that Doctor wasn't there for that. Even though, I mean, it is, he regenerated back to it, but we're dealing with David Tennant's
that was
Doctor right now,
Smith,
but
yeah.
but I don't know. It was a strange. It seemed like it was trying to grasp for things that weren't there, or something no one wanted. But so now there are 2 doctors. We're going into the Christmas special with the new Doctor, who seems cool. I like him so far. Russell T Davies did do these 3 episodes, and he did older ones. I'm not sure how big of a fan I am whenever he's running it, but he is the showrunner now, so we will see what he does with it. But so far, I'm not really in on it. But yeah, Jared, what up?
Who's the new Doctor? Is it someone like?
It is the black guy. I do not know his name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
Was
it's hard
he
to
on?
pronounce.
Was he on a?
He was
Doctor Who?
on. No,
Or was he on like a?
he's never been
Okay,
a Doctor
because
Who before.
they've done that a few times where the Doctor has been like on a Doctor Who episode, but then they bring
Peter
him back
Capaldi was
into.
in it, but
Well,
He's
there's-
been on a show. I just can't remember what show.
his name
he
is
was
like
on.
Nuctigatwa. So like Nuktigatwa. I have no idea. He was in Sex Education. I think he was in Barbie. He was in
Yeah.
The Kins. I think Sex Education is the big one that he's been in.
Mhm.
I
I
haven't
know
seen
of.
that. I've heard it's good,
I have
but
too.
I've never seen it.
With Asa Butterfield.
Mhm.
Asa, I don't know how to say his name.
Gina.
He's in that?
Gillian X-Files woman. Forgot her name.
Sure. But yeah, so
Anderson.
Doctor
Gillian
Who is-
Anderson. Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I was like, is this just me that Doctor Who's kind of falling off of? Because I feel like
No, all the guys I watch are pretty done with it.
Ever
It's just like-
since
They
Capaldi,
said,
I think.
yeah, that's what the kind of popular opinion is. Capaldi was a good doctor, but he didn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
good stories.
there hasn't the only good story recently, which I actually because so whenever I want to know like the harsh, honest opinions, I go to IMDb. Honestly, like you look at that and people are very like the numbers are pretty accurate to how people feel. And so I was like, where is Doctor Who? And I was like looking at the past ones, like 6s and 7s. Then I go back to like Matt Smith, Weeping Angels, when Amy Pond goes. It's like a 9.0, and like episodes around that are 8.0, 8.5. I'm like, okay, it's not just me. But then I did look at The Flux, which I thought was really, really good with Jodie Whittaker the last season. It's like a 7-part thing that actually took an arcing story. I loved it, but IMDb didn't care too much for it. But
Yeah, a lot of people
Hello?
didn't like the last Doctor
yeah.
and how it kind of change canon, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no vision for Doctor Who that I felt like in so long. I'm like, we're going like after Matt Smith they had the freaking 10 years ago, the 50th anniversary when they did the
Dude,
special
the
with
Day of the
David Tennant,
Doctor.
Day of the
That
Doctor.
is
You
such a
see
good
the ending,
episode.
and you're like, Gallifrey's there. That's where we're going. We have
That is
not
such
been
a
in there,
good
and it has
ending.
been 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
I know they've touched on it here and there, but it's like we left that
remember-
storyline. It was so good.
I remember I had to watch the Matt Smith stuff because I wanted to watch the Day of the Doctor, like that special,
It's such a good
because
special.
it had Tennant come back,
It
and
had
that was
John
such a
Hurt
good
as the Doctor.
and
It's like,
John
come
Hurt as
on.
the War Doctor is amazing.
What? Yeah.
And then you have the Curator too, which I thought was awesome. But yeah, ever since like Matt Smith stuff, I'm just like,
yeah. That was
don't have-
freaking Stephen Moffat. He did such a good job with Matt Smith.
yeah. And I have my problems with Moffat stuff.
Yeah, true.
But
that
like just overall, he had like an actual vision for it, I think, and I think it really worked.
Yeah.
And because it's funny is that my favorite stuff is not even Moffat stuff, because he came in after Tenet to run
Mhm.
Smith stuff, and I just, but there's nothing concise anymore. Nothing is like,
yeah, it's just
together
I keep asking,
at all.
what are we doing? What
Yeah.
are we doing? So, I don't know.
because
We'll
I
see.
tried watching the Jodie Whittaker stuff, and she's fine, but it's just the stories are not very good. Same with Capaldi. Capaldi's really good.
Capaldi's
but
great. I actually
yeah,
think they're both
but-
great, but it's just like, yeah, again, what are we doing? Why are we
it's
doing
just-
this?
Yeah, there's not good stories. So
Hopefully they have a plan, but so far it does not seem to be a good plan with the ending of the special this week. But I,
I mean,
still love
honestly-
seeing David Tennant back. It was amazing to see him back, though. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, if I was like, because I know like the thing about Doctor Who's that it probably will never end,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, no.
But honestly, Capaldi's character, I think, would have been a good end, and because in not just end, but if they wanted to take a break from actually doing anything, like they did with
Yeah.
the original Doctor, they took a
Mm.
break for like 10 years, like 10 or 12 years, I think, and then they came back with Eccleston, which he was amazing. Love that Doctor, but is it Eccleston?
yeah,
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Christopher
Sure.
Eccleston. And that was great. It was like a breath of fresh air. But I think they're just running out of stuff to do. So, because it's been going forever at this point. I think it's
Time
longer
to
than the original stuff.
Oh, and they do
And then take a break.
they do another one of those pointed things with the like COVID and vaccines.
Oh,
Not
no.
really. But it's not really. So like everyone's going crazy because of this virus through the television that the toy maker made. And it's like I was saying about the Murder at the End of the World, where it's so pointed rather than, doing their thing. And so like all the unit people have these bracelets that block the thing out. Like, and so I think Donna or someone asked, like, well, why don't we get everyone to to do that?
Wear the
Why don't we get them all
bracelet.
to wear the bracelets? And she clicks on some fake news thing, and she's like, they all want to control us with the bracelets and get in our minds and poison us as though the vaccine was the. I was like, oh my god! I was laughing pretty hard at that.
Yeah, they have this thing called creative writing. They probably should use that.
It was just so on the nose, and so it's like, come on, try a little harder.
Yeah.
Than that. Try a little harder.
I will forever remember that line from the Batman. It's like, the real enemy is the white rich man. I'm like, okay, that was the worst line I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost, I don't know, kind of pandering. I'm like, try a little harder. They're just
Yeah.
trying to get the easy
Easy jab.
points
yeah.
there. Like, get the points in. I'm like, come on, make something good. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. I'll go real fast. I only watched YouTube. I didn't watch
well,
much.
You haven't gotten yet, really, or not yet. You didn't speak really from the last one, so
What are you talking
Interesting.
about?
Oh,
I don't
oh.
know. He didn't. He wasn't on the last one, so he hasn't really spoken at all.
Oh,
That wasn't on the Heron.
on the
Oh, we just
Um,
talked about Christmas for like 40 minutes. It's okay.
That's true. That is
The
true.
animal channel didn't, or the anime channel didn't talk about anime.
it?
Huh?
It didn't.
We are all on
Uh,
different pages right now.
Yeah, we are. Um, so YouTube, I started watching Sam Solik. He's a bodybuilder, I guess. There's a lot of memes going on right now with him. But pretty much all his videos, they're always labeled the same thing. It's either he's on a bulk or a cut, and then it's just like winter bulk, summer bulk, or winter cut,
Right.
summer cut. But it's just like this kind of charismatic guy, big buff dude, just talking about working out and eating, and something about it, like you can just have it on in the background, and it's just the way he talks is kind of delightful, and I like watching it. So I watched quite a few of those videos. And it's honestly kind of inspiring to you, like, because he's like, dude, you don't need to take a break. Even if you're sick, like you have to be sick to take a break. Don't be don't give excuses. And I was like, he's right.
Darn it, he's right.
And then so that got me on like a fitness kick. So I watched Sunny V2, his video on how Planet Fitness became the most hated gym. Just a lot of their practices are kind of stupid, and it's
Little
very
goofy.
like it's kind of like they have every first Monday and Tuesday they have every Monday they first Monday they have a pizza day, which is like you do not need pizza when you're
For
working
the
out.
gym, yeah.
And then every Tuesday they have donut mornings.
What the heck?
Oh my
And
God.
everyone's like, they just want you to get fat so you have to keep your
Yeah,
membership.
you
And
can't
it's
like
like-
wear tank tops because they think it's aggressive, and you can't carry big water bottles or whatever.
yeah. And then
What?
the highest like free weights they have is a 60 pounder. Like they go to like 100.
Jeez, yeah.
120. Yeah.
But they discourage like big guys, like big
Yeah.
people. So
It's supposed to be for the everybody's, right?
yeah, it's supposed to be a judge-free zone, but they're the most judgmental people who
That's
have
the thing is that they judge you. Like, are you pathetic enough to work out here or what?
They're probably those people who think working out's racist.
What?
Have you heard?
You haven't
of
heard that?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
What does that
Working
mean?
out
Yeah.
is racist.
We don't know, Michael.
We don't. It's nonsense. And then no, I won't go into that. I'll get canceled.
You'll be like a guy in the Hallmark movie. You have to go back home.
Well, no, do that.
It's
because
all
then
the-
he'll
You'll
find like
love.
you'll find love.
It's just always about like those body shaming people. Like, oh, don't make fun of fat people. It's healthy. It's not healthy. It's
Oh,
like
no.
I've
As a-
been fat. It hurts. It's not good.
Causes
As-
problems.
As a person who's experienced back sweat while sitting on a chair,
Yeah.
can I say that? I think it was Chris. He's like, "What? What do you mean back sweat when you sit on a
Oh,
chair?" I'm
yeah.
just like, "I hate you. I hate you so much right now."
Oh, and then I want to shout out Papa Meat's. So Meat Cannon's second channel is called Papa Meat. I wanted to shout out his Jingle All the Way video. It was super good. I'm glad someone else that's their favorite Christmas movie, because I've always been like hyping that movie up. Me and Joseph. It was so good.
Put
And
that
then
cookie down.
and then I watched David Hartley. He does some music. He's a music channel, and he was talking his video, The Story of Layla. It's a much weirder story than you thought.
Really?
So it's the story of the song Layla by Eric Clapton.
Don't you hate that song?
I hate the ending. I love the beginning. The beginning has one of the best like guitar riffs, guitar riffs. But then it goes into this piano nonsense. But you get to see
Piano nonsense.
just nonsense.
Well, it's Eric
It's like-
Clapton, so it's
It's
like,
like
why do you need-
another.
It's
It's
a whole
another.
different song, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 2 minutes of bull crap. And then you find out who it was written for, and then it was George Harrison's wife at the time.
Oh, yeah.
They were friends at the time, and he fell in love. So it's a real Jessie girl kind of thing.
Help each other write. My guitar weeps or
Weeps,
whatever that song.
gently weeps.
Yeah.
And then his other video, which you guys won't appreciate, is why Billy Joel writes songs differently from everyone else.
Does he?
Yeah,
I love Billy Joel.
I appreciate you, Thomas.
Thank you.
He mentions like a lot of musicians talking about how songs just come to them in dreams and like stuff like that. They just come in like 30 minutes and they write it down and it's like a great song. But he talks about how Billy Joel really struggles. He's like, it's hard work. I really have to force it out. I didn't know. Well, I knew he was like classically trained in piano. But I didn't know he put out like his own like what is it called? His own symphony kind of, not symphony, but
Orchestra?
classical pieces.
For piano.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And they're really good. I was very surprised. I was listening to that at work and I was like, this is nice.
What's your favorite Billy Joel song, and it cannot be from Oliver and Company.
Yeah.
That's cheat. That's too hard. No,
I didn't say it would be easy.
Matter of Trust. I really
Really?
love that song. Mhm.
Huh.
That or Leave a Tender Moment Alone.
Oh, that's a good one. I like Moving Out. I know that's a cheap answer, but come on.
No, that's terrible.
That is a great song,
I hate
Joseph.
that
You are
song.
terrible.
You know what song's ruined? The one that they used for those insurance commercials.
Oh yeah. What
My
was
Life.
that one? Oh yeah. It's
Oh,
My
really?
Life. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot listen to that song. I'm like, oh, freaking commercials coming on.
I mean,
The only one I
Uptown-
like is I Might Be Crazy or You Might Be Crazy, whatever that song's called.
I Might Be Crazy.
I Might Be Crazy.
That one's really good.
I mean,
Michael,
Uptown
you have
Girl
a
is
Billy
just
Joel?
amazing, so
I don't have a favorite Billy Joel song.
Okay.
sad.
Last thing I watched was a guy named called Nasu. He had a video called Villains that were low key onto something, where he just talks about villain motivations, and maybe some of them were right to think that. It's more of a comedy video. The ending is super hilarious. I love it. But he also has really good videos. Like one is about like his favorite games he hasn't played again, because he doesn't want to like kind of tarnish his original playthrough, because how beloved they are, and he just doesn't feel like playing it again will do much for his opinion. So maybe he's just talking about how some games are really just turn on, play a couple rounds, and then turn off, and some are just a one-time thing. But yeah, some good videos, and that's all I wanted to shout out.
Cool. Thomas?
So like Joseph, I'm going through finals right now, but I'm on the opposite end. So he's causing
Fail him, Joseph. Fail
Yeah,
him.
He's basically causing my suffering, but screw you, Joseph. So I've been watching stuff that's kind of like what I can listen to on the background and not take super seriously. So I did watch this channel called Towns Ends. It's this historical food channel that basically this guy is a worker at one of the natural history, or not natural, what do you call them? You know those pioneer towns types things that they do?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
He works there, and he's a living historian, and he focuses on nutritional value of what somebody in that time period would go through. Very interesting. A lot of the stuff that he makes actually looks delicious, and I'm like, like he makes a really good stew, and yeah, it's kind
That
of
seemed
cool.
to be a big trend this year. It was like people that bake things from like the past. Like I watch a baker who's always doing stuff from like the 20s, like this big book
Yeah.
of recipes
yeah,
from the
I've seen-
20s.
Yeah, like
Big book of
the
bread.
depression era cooking guy, where he like
That's a
cooks with
different
his-
guy. He
Okay.
does
Not that
all
guy.
kinds of cookbooks.
Come on.
Okay,
But I've seen
But-
that guy too.
I
but
watch a sandwich guy that does history.
is it
Does he
just
make
your
any
channel?
hot dogs?
No, I don't think he's done hot dogs.
But he had this one about like being a lieutenant in like the Napoleonic era. So lieutenant's like the lowest ranking of an officer, and so he would go through like what their salary could afford and how it wasn't much better than basically enlisted men, but he couldn't.
Baloney.
Yeah, well, I wish that'd be kind of cool, but yeah, it's very interesting channel. Weirdly enough, I've been watching a lot of Papa Meat stuff, and I just watched the Jingle All the Way one, which was great. Of that he hates that
Jamie.
kid. He hates that kid. He's like, this kid is the most spoiled kid
Jamie.
of all time. He's like, you look at his house, he's like, dude, you got like a mural of Captain America on
I like
it."
when
I
he's like
know.
he walks away from his father, but it takes 2 hours because the house is so big.
It's a freaking labyrinth in here. But yeah, that's
And then he talks about the last gift his dad gave him
yeah,
when he was like 12 years old. It was like
Socks
a
and
pack
a
of
shotgun.
socks, but the dad took 2 pairs. So it was...
I ran out of socks for work. I needed 2 pairs. So he's like, but the gun was sweet. I don't need you judging me. So, but yeah, I've been watching a lot of Papa Meat just because he's fun to just listen to, and I still haven't gotten a chance to really watch his Wendigoon stuff yet, so I'm kind of wanting to do that. Weirdly enough, though, when I was at the gym, somebody was watching Wendigoon on the treadmill right next to me. I'm like, oh hey, cool. He didn't talk to me though, so anyway. Then so I also watched this guy called RTT Guns and Gear. He is he's like this older biker looking dude, and his favorite gun is actually my gun, which is the Glock 19X, and he goes through like a lot of like the cleaning procedures and just how to deal with it. It's very interesting.
Like validate its emotions and stuff like
Gotta treat it on a sick day.
If you're sick, you still have to work out. You have to be
Yeah,
dead.
Why am I getting mocked?
We're mocking the YouTuber. We're not mocking
Yeah,
you.
we're not
Yes,
mocking
you
the
are.
man
You're
and
mocking
his- and his pets.
But in his stuff is very interesting, and he's got like 15,000 rounds last update through that gun, and I just did 350 this weekend. So I'm trying to. That's like my New Year's resolution is to try to do 5,000 rounds next year. So
Does that mean like shoot 5,000 rounds? Or
yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it took me like 2.5 hours to shoot 350 rounds, so it was a lot. But I'm trying to do that. So, and then another YouTube channel, I just kind of fell into it. It's called Unpacked, which is very interesting. It's about history of the Holy Land and just the politics that are leading from literally like the ancient Romans to now, and it's just fascinating. Really good, really well done videos too. But yeah, just fantastic stuff. And then moving on from YouTube. So on Thursday night was the first night of Hanukkah. So I watched the Rugrats Hanukkah special, and that is one of my favorite episodes. Weirdly
Chucky,
enough,
there's no yeast in this bread.
no, that's the Passover special.
Oh,
But the amount of jokes in this special are like so above kids' heads.
that's
but
a lot
the-
of old Rugrats.
like, yeah, the old Rugrats were great.
But this one where Stu is making like the giant menorah for the Hanukkah celebration, and he sets the house on fire. He's like, Didi, don't worry, we'll meet you at the church. And his dad's in the basement with the fire extinguisher, like, it's called a synagogue, Hanukkah boy. So there's this one part where Angelica trips this guy dressed as a dreidel, and he's carrying this thing of donuts, and he falls down, and he lands on Gimel, and all the donuts spill out, and one of the other synagogue members passes over. He goes like, I win, and so he picks up the donuts. So I thought that was a funny dreidel joke on there. He also confronts Angelica. He's like, I broke a shin because of you. And it's a shin, like the letter shin from Hebrew. Inside Jewish joke. But anyway.
I'm the child that it went over their head.
I know. But when I was watching it, I was cracking up. I'm like, the shin. And then for some reason I watched Greyhound with my grandfather. It's that Tom Hanks World War II movie. Great movie. Fantastic movie. Really got my hopes, is getting my hopes up for Masters of the Air. Because it's him, and also I didn't know Tom Hanks wrote the screenplay for that movie, which I think is kind of interesting. Apparently that was like a passion project for him. And then like the rest of it, I just watched Parks and Rec while I studied. I will give a shout out to my boy Jerry. He is by far my favorite part of Parks and Rec, just because everybody treats him like it's like this, like the sad sack, and nobody likes him. But then you like see his family life, and he's he has the
Those
perfect life.
smoking wife.
Yeah, all the blonde daughters and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he like goes up to Ben goes up to Chris. He's like, what's with Jerry's wife? He's like, I've tried to figure it out, I can't figure it out. I don't know. It's like, did somebody hypnotize her and forget to not unhypnotize her? They had mumps or whatever. They're checking for mumps, and then the doctor's just like, "Yep, you're all clear." He like looks at the cameras like, "I didn't check for mumps." That man has the biggest penis I've ever seen in my
I
life.
heard about that.
He's like, I don't know if he has mumps. I can't tell. I was distracted by the biggest penis I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then like I watched like that clip on YouTube, and all the comments are like, "Yep, explains the wife. Explains the wife. Yep, that's why she's always happy." So, but yeah, I love that show. So, that's all I got. I didn't. Again, finals have been draining my brain. So, thanks, Joseph.
We did return to Warzone.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I want to hear some tales. I heard Michael yelling this morning.
Michael was yelling.
Oh yeah,
or afternoon, I
yell.
guess.
it
The
happened.
gulag has not been kind to us.
Oh my god, just if you get the AR in the gulag, swap to your secondary. Pro tip, because it doesn't do anything. It just tickles and it does nothing. I had a guy swap to the pistol. He killed me so much faster. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're smart, sir." I screamed at him, and then I said he's smart.
I think pistols have gotten the damage buff, like
There we
because I was playing regular Warzone, and I shot at this guy. Entire magazine barely hit him at all. Switched to my pistol. I fired 2 rounds, got him. I'm like, okay, what the hell?
Like the pistols in Halo.
There you go. I like
That's
the Halo
been
pistols.
the trouble for me. Is like I break people, but I never seen the down.
Yeah, it's like they have a lot of like health with their shields, or just the gun just doesn't do any health damage. Is what it seems like. But
yeah.
Yeah, it all breaks their
Did-
plates.
Did Ari try it with you guys?
she
or?
did.
Yeah.
She jumped in there with us. She got some kills.
She immediately
won her
jumped
first
out as soon as
gulag.
I came in.
Nice.
So
Michael scared her.
we were like several matches in, and I was like, "So Ari, how stressed are you in this?" She's like, "A bit. Your anger stresses me." I was like, "Ari, that's
We're
a
like-
2 on a 10 scale." Ari.
Everybody's just like, he's not angry.
Yeah.
I am not angry yet.
He's just loud right now.
Yeah. I'm like,
So the
when
map-
he has kicked you out, then he's angry.
But Ben did come back. And
Oh,
he played
God.
with us, and
How much did you yell then?
I got up to a 6. I got
Yeah,
up to a 6.
Wow.
with
yeah.
Ben.
Yay.
Ben was
Yes.
making him mad.
That's not fair. He has a child.
Ben's an idiot.
Ben leaves the group all the
Ben's an
time.
I support that.
and
Oh
then
no, we do too, and it's hilarious. But then Michael gets super upset.
'Cause
about it.
That's
have
how
you
we
been in the
die
group?
every time.
The group tells you, each person tells you a different direction. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just.
I follow Ben because I'm trying to help, but he gets us killed, and then Michael gets mad at us.
Just let Ben die. Just
It
let him
doesn't help
die.
that we all follow Ben and leave Michael.
It was like there was a match we were playing, and I was like, "All right, guys, we're gonna go get the loadout here. We're gonna change our money. Then we're gonna go after the bounty." And we're all running this way, and I look at the map, and I see Ben. His arrow's going off in this direction. I was like, "Ben, what did I literally just say?" It's like, "We're gonna get the loadout, and then we're gonna go that way." He's like, "Oh, see an arrow turn around."
And we had to explain to Ari never get in a vehicle with Ben ever,
Yeah,
like
okay.
ever. Like he
I
will,
like
you will
the-
die. You will just die.
I like
Does he
the
not
one
drive
time-
well, or like?
Yeah,
We don't
he
know.
For
just-
some
He-
reason, he can't drive cars. He can do helicopters. but
Like
he-
he'll find like a corner of a building, even though there's like a complete wide open area, crash into that, or he'll see somebody
Yeah, that's
and
it.
like veer off into that, and then he immediately gets us ambushed and we all die.
Yeah,
like immediately.
He'll see something and he has the plan in his head. He doesn't communicate to anyone. So he's driving by. He jumps out. Everyone's still just like,
And the car keeps going.
What
Ben,
a
are you
scam.
still driving?
I
Ben's
did
off.
like the-
Oh, I died.
I did like
Well-
the part where we were going somewhere, and Ben's like, "Hey, Michael, go grab that bounty next to you." And it's like
Oh
meters
my,
away.
oh my. This is when I was real
Michael has
screaming,
to
man.
Go across the river to get it, and then we get ambushed, and we need Michael's help, but he's moving the
Yeah,
bounty.
Because Ben's like, grab that bounty right next to you. It's literally probably 150 meters across a river, and they're going off. So circle's coming in. The bounty's in circle, so I would be safe over there. They go off to the different people, not the bounty, because I get the bounty. The bounty marks someone in circle even further than I was. They're still going off into like the out of bounds area where it's completely unsafe. I try and catch up to them. Then there's a loadout that drops. I'm like, guys, let's get the loadout. We can have guns. They still keep going that way. I get my loadout. There's a whole other team. 2 teams converge on us.
They don't want to get loadouts.
It's a disaster.
Okay,
They don't really have loadouts
There was
yet,
this there was this one part where we were going in. This is back in Verdansk. We were going along into like one of those little villages things, you know what I mean? Like cluster of buildings. Jim Ben jumps out and starts fighting people. He doesn't tell us. And so the car just keeps going until we end up in a field, and we don't know that Ben's left. and we immediately get like rocketed, grenaded, and shot at while we're in the car in the random field that just like veered to the left. We're just like, what just happened?
Ben sounds like a hero, dude.
Ben's the man.
But the real question is it better, or are you
It's
still
Way
mad at
better
it?
than Warzone 2.
Yeah, it's the map is more colorful. You can see more.
see
More
people.
full, at least, which is nice.
It's a little too vertical for me.
Yeah, I think so.
I wish
Yeah.
there was a lot more fields and stuff like that.
The
The-
buildings are
The buildings are just complicated. Like Verdansk, the
Yeah.
buildings were simple. You kind of had, I mean,
Yeah.
it was like a copy and paste of all the buildings, but at least you knew, hey, we're not going to have 400 rooms
you-
in here.
you knew how to
Get
get
through
out
and
of
go.
each building that you went into, because as soon as you went in, you knew, because everything, like he's saying, is everything was copy and pasted. So you knew if you went into a building, you could go up or out one of the windows, and that's how you could get out. With here, I'm just like, I have no idea
Yeah,
where
they're
I'm
kind of
going in this
mazes,
building.
but definitely compared
Yeah,
to
the good
Warzone
thing
2,
about-
good lord.
Yeah, the good thing
Yeah.
about Verdansk is there was so much not variety, but so much difference between each
Identity.
little section. Yeah, between each section of the map. This one, it feels kind of like the same.
Mhm.
Like there's buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess the movement's nice. It's better. The only
It's-
problem I'm having is the guns aren't as great.
The
Are-
recoil's weird. Is that just me for like rifles? Because I'll either have really good recoil or
Yeah, it just
all
depends
over
on
the
the gun.
place.
Honestly, like that's one thing that is a problem is like loadout guns are vastly superior to
Yeah.
like ground loot guns are just useless
Yeah.
against someone who gets their loadout
Yeah.
and they have all the attachments on that make it basically just a laser doesn't
Well,
move. It's
it's
too
basically-
varied.
It's basically pay to win now too for the levels, because like you can't even equip certain grenades now at lower levels.
Yeah, finally
I've
I finally got a
never had
gun
that.
built just now. I
Yeah.
actually have all the attachments on it, so
I wish they would just get simple again, where there was
Yeah.
like
Thank-
5 guns.
Yeah.
Thankfully enough, I still have my guns from Warzone 2, and so I'm more unlocked there, but they're probably not even close to being as good as the new ones.
yeah, I wish they would have done a full reset, but
Yeah.
oh well.
Or go back to Verdansk, which would be great.
They are doing
But
that
is
next year.
rumored
supposed to do
next
it next year.
year.
But they
That
just
would
need to
be
update
nice.
for dance. They need zip lines and all that junk and balloons and
Yeah, that I do like the zip lines. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like
there's
the
a lot of
horizontal
ways
horizontal
up
zip
on
lines.
buildings, which is nice. It's
That
not just
that
like staircase.
honestly would have solved a lot of the problems in Verdansk,
Oh,
because you had like the
100%.
wide open spaces, and I like that because it does draw everybody out, especially like in the last circles, instead of
Yeah.
everybody hiding. But traversing an open field in Verdansk, that was terrifying. Like I'm like I'm probably gonna get sniped. I have no idea where
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah,
But
because
the-
like most of the infield, like in games, I'm remembering from Verdansk was like out in farmland where
Yeah.
there's like one house and everyone's kind of fighting
Well,
over that one
especially
house.
like during last circle, try to go to that one house. I did like the open field because everything was level. If you
Mhm.
didn't know how to fight, you were screwed. And me, I'm screwed. But anyway,
One last question for Michael: are you gonna start playing this or return to Dead by Daylight?
be careful, Johnny's watching.
Now, as many people, Ben got on because he and I were just playing by ourselves when he first got home from his vacation, and he was like, we got
That's
on,
the first thing he
we
does.
got on to Dead by Daylight, and it was like that game is so bad. It's so like Johnny and Carlos are like, yeah, you gotta get your loadouts, you gotta get all the perks. I'm like, the actual gameplay of this game, like you played it, you and I both, we kind of have the same conversation. Like, I can't imagine playing that more. The only fun thing about Dead by Daylight is if you have 5 people and you can do a custom lobby where someone's a killer and you're just goofing off. That's fun. But God, like
I will say
I will
that's the
play
only
Dead by
way I
Daylight
played
to
it.
get Johnny and Ari to play Warzone. That's what I'll do. I'll be like, all right, you get it. I'll do a match of these, a couple matches of these, and we do a couple matches of that. It's gonna
Did
be-
Have you
Ari
guys
it's gonna be
played,
give and take.
enjoy it?
We have, Jared. It's fun.
Oh, yeah?
Lethal Company.
Yeah,
It's
I want to
fun,
play that.
dude. It's you should get it. It was on sale for half off, I think. But
Oh, really?
it's goofy, but it's hilarious, especially with the proximity chat. Oh my gosh, it's stupid.
Is there a lot of like replay value or?
That's kind of all it is. It's just like
Oh.
you have your days of work and you have to go into these you go to different planets and you have to try and get like scrap to sell basically. But there's
Mm.
different types of monsters. You have to try and figure out how to deal with them. But it's all proximity chat. And so if someone dies, their mic goes away. And then
Yeah.
it's like, Like we had this one point where we're following Ari, Carlos, and I are following Johnny somewhere. Johnny gets eaten by something, and we're all freaking out. And then we thought Carlos ran off. Carlos apparently was on the railing, backed off, fell, and died when he got scared. And so Ari and I are like, we got to find Carlos and get out of here. So we're running forever trying to find him. And then we can finally get back, and Carlos is like, I died immediately. It was funny, but very goofy game. But yeah.
All right. Sounds good. We will be back for more talking discussion next week. So like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we will see you next time.